Officially again updating you on some more current transfer rumours now in the current process now. This is about David Luiz from Chelsea, the current centre back. Also can play as a defensive midfielder as well. Reportedly, David Luiz has potentially been in talks with Real Madrid over the potential January transfer move in the current process, because obviously David Luiz has only played once in November for Chelsea Football Club as David Luiz, and he did confirm, I think a week or two ago, that he'd had a bust up with Conte and he'd had a fallout with Conte. And he actually did say in the press at that moment he was actually considering making a move to Old Trafford, was David Luiz, because obviously, Jose Mourinho, may have been keen on reuniting with the player, after Jose Mourinho, had actually worked, used to work with David Luiz as well in the current process. And David Luiz still under contract with Chelsea until 2019 as well. But reportedly, Real Madrid have set their interest up. There has been negotiations going on. David Luiz was potentially, being in talks with Real Madrid, because Real Madrid, as we all know, have got quite a few players on their agenda, because they've got like Benzema now that's aging up, Ronaldo aging up, even Bale aging up as well. So, Real Madrid obviously looking to get some youth into the team. Obviously, David Luiz is not young, obviously, but they've looked at quite a few players, but they've also looked at quite a few young players as well of Real Madrid in the current process. So Chelsea, may actually cash in for him in January. Chelsea may recommend that. They want around the £34 million mark that they repurchased him back from Paris Saint-Germain back in 2016 as well. But David Luiz has made over a century of appearances in the Premier League for Chelsea, as we all currently know, David Luiz, and we all know in the Confederations Cup, he's very, very good with Brazil in 2013, won it with them, got to semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup in 2014 as well with Brazil, did David Luiz, and also too, he's got experience of being in Portugal with Benfica as David Luiz, and he went to Chelsea for 3 seasons, won the FA Cup, Europa League and Champions League. He actually went and joined Paris Saint-Germain, and Paris Saint-Germain purchased him for £50 million. He'd been at Paris Saint-Germain a couple of years, so he's got experience of being in France as well, won honours with them as well. And then Chelsea had repurchased him back for £34 million in the current process. But reportedly Real Madrid may make a potential move for David Luiz in the January transfer window as well in the current process, because obviously Chelsea Football Club, obviously looking to get quite a few more signings in. Conte, was frustrated with their lack of investment back in the August window. We know Chelsea got Bakayoko, Rodiger, and they paid £70 million for Morata. That's hitting form for them as well. But Chelsea did miss out on quite a few targets back in the August window, and they could still see one of their players or two of their players leave maybe in the January transfer window. There's also been talks about Willian as well, because he's been frustrated with a lack of game time. He's been getting under Conte this season as well, because he can play as attacking mid. He can also play as a winger, can Willian as well. Willian used to be at Schalke though, didn't with Shakhtar Donetsk. He won 5 Ukraine Premier League titles, Ukraine Cup, Ukraine Super Cup, and the UEFA Cup as well. Did Willian in the current process, but I think he's frustrated with the lack of game time he's been getting under Conte this season. Is Willian. There were reports linking him with a move to Manchester United as well. Willian, because Jose Mourinho also used to work with Willian. This is 5th season now in the process is Willian's with Chelsea, but he did say if Conte stays, Willian may want to leave Chelsea Football Club as well. They did spend over £100 million, I think, back in August at Chelsea, but Conte basically, wasn't satisfied, with their lack of investment. Conte won the Premier League in his 1st season with Chelsea. He's got a 3-year contract in his 2nd year of that as well. There has been reports in the last 3 or 4 weeks, basically, there's been reports saying he could make a move back to Italy. Chelsea were convinced he wasn't going to see out his current contract with the club. But basically, Chelsea will be hoping to do better in the January transfer window, try to get a couple more players in, because Chelsea want someone, they want a strong partnership up front, because they think they're lacking in that final third, and Chelsea want someone to partner up with Alvaro Morata as well in the current process. And as we all know, Chelsea have looked at loads of players. They missed out on Llorente, Alexandro's a fullback. Chelsea didn't get him because Chelsea were willing to pay the most expensive fee for the defender. But Juventus were not willing to offload Sandro. He went for Llorente. The interest in Jamie Vardy. Chelsea were interested in Benteke. He said Chelsea could still go for Benteke in January. Also, Ross Barkley, they could go for him in January as well. Chelsea Football Club as well in the current process. But as I'm saying, as I am, what am I going to say now? But as I'm potentially saying, we've heard the latest news about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Borussia Dortmund, because Chelsea are reportedly interested in him. So could he potentially Chelsea's next signing, but also Liverpool have also been interested in Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang as well. And I think what a front line that'd be from Chelsea's perspective, you know, Morata and Aubameyang in a front line, because Aubameyang's got a lot of experience of being in Germany. He's been at Borussia Dortmund. This is his 5th season now at Borussia Dortmund. He's Aubameyang. He did sign a 5-year contract in 2013 with Borussia Dortmund. I don't know if he signed a new deal during that time. I'm not quite sure, but I know he signed a 5-year deal back in 2013. So I think if he hasn't signed a new deal during his time, he's coming to an end of his contract in 2018. He's Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang as well. But Borussia Dortmund have confirmed they are ready. They are actually, you know, ready to cash in on Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. I think Borussia Dortmund may demand that they're on around £54 million for the player. This season, he scored 11 goals in 12 games for Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are not in the Champions League group stage. They are currently out at Borussia Dortmund, sitting 5th in the Bundesliga as well. But yeah, Chelsea could actually go for him in January because Borussia Dortmund are willing to cash in on the player. And also too, you know, Liverpool have been interested in, because obviously Jurgen Klopp's looking to reunite with Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang, you know, after they were fantastic together at Borussia Dortmund. Because obviously Jurgen Klopp used to work with Aubameyang, you know, during his time with Borussia Dortmund as well. But I think this is only if Daniel Sturridge is to leave Liverpool Football Club, then Liverpool would potentially, you know, make a move for Aubameyang. But it's confirmed that Liverpool and Chelsea, you know, have been interested in him as well. And if Chelsea were to get Aubameyang, you could put the Morata and Aubameyang up front. You could even add Hazard there on the flank. You could even put Hazard in the mix as well, so Chelsea could basically go with a 4-3-3 of Hazard and Morata and Aubameyang up front as well, and Conte would be probably, you know, happier with that as well. But Aubameyang is very, very good. His speed, he's clinical, he's an efficient finisher. His speed's absolutely phenomenal as well. He's Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. He did 30 metres as well in 3.7 seconds did Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. So what a record that is, he did as well. And also, you know, made his international debut in 2009 as well, did Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang, and also has been voted, like, he's one of the best when he's on form, but he got voted before as the 8th best player in the world, did Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang as well. But obviously we know he began his career with Milan, and then he went to 4 French clubs on loan, did Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. Then he signed for Setien permanently in 2011, did well with them, and he joined Borussia Dortmund in 2013. He's won honours with Borussia Dortmund, you know, won Borussia Dortmund Player of the Season, you know, won Best African Footballer of the Year, Best African Player as well. You know, he's been voted top scorer for the last 3 years, and so he's good at finding assists as well, and he scored 31 goals last season for Borussia Dortmund as well. But what a fantastic player he is. So could he potentially be Chelsea's next signing, you know, in the current process? But reportedly, you know, from Real Madrid's perspective, as I do keep saying about Real Madrid's perspective, yes, reportedly David Luiz has been in talks with Madrid, but Real Madrid have got quite a few players on their agenda as well, and reportedly it come out. It come out. What did it come out now? It come out in the press the other day that Real Madrid were willing to plot £80 million in for Antonio Martial as well, according to reports. But I just don't see. I think we're reluctant and we are resisted to actually, you know, offload Antonio Martial. I can't really see, you know, Manchester United offloading Antonio Martial in the current process, because Martial's an ex-Lyon player, Monaco player, so he's got a lot of experience of being in France, and he is very, very good for France. As well as Antonio Martial, he's still at a young age prospect. Is Martial? He's grown and developed into his game. You know, as Martial, since he's come to Manchester United, he's been fantastic. He's made over century appearances. I think he's made about 110 appearances as Antonio Martial. He did last season. You know, last season he failed to replicate that form, you know, under Louis van Gaal, did Martial. But this season he's really stepped up. He's got 7 goals this season for Manchester United. You know, in the current process. But as I said, Real Madrid are still looking to add depth and character, because they've got quite a few players in their squad aging up, are Real Madrid. But as I said, £80 million, it said they could go for him in January or next summer. But £80 million is a testing offer. Very, very testing indeed, because £80 million is a lot of money for a young 20 or 21-year-old as well. In the current process. But as I said, you know, Real Madrid have got Benzema. Real Madrid are the rich club, just like United and City are, so they'll, you know, want to spend quite a bit of money on players that they need, because Real Madrid have had a bad start to this season. You know, I think they're sitting 4th, is it, in the La Liga. You know, obviously Real Madrid went for Mbappe as well back in August, but it never materialised in the current process. So yeah, they've showed an interest in Martial. Man United are not going to offload Antonio Martial, as I said, because he scored in his debut for us against Liverpool, which was absolutely a fantastic moment as well. You know, he's won Golden Boy Award. You know, he's won Premier League Player of the Month, and also too, we paid £36 million for Antonio Martial, and this included add-ons as well in the deal, which risen it up to £57 million, and that's the most expensive fee for a young teenager as well. But Antonio Martial is absolutely class. His work rate's good. He shows fantastic genuine pace down the left-hand side, as he has done this season. And I just don't see, you know, and he's trended well with Rashford, and I just don't see, you know, Manchester United, you know, offloading Martial. But obviously, Real Madrid need to offload one of their players if they're to get a player in, and obviously Gareth Bale is the most likely to be sacrificed off. But reportedly, you know, another Real Madrid target is potentially Harry Kane as well. Not really young, but potentially another Real Madrid target is Harry Kane. Harry Kane has basically also admitted in the press, he has told his friends reportedly where his next destination is, and I think, you know, Harry Kane has admitted, he's explained this to his friends, he is keen on the move to Real Madrid, is Harry Kane in the process, and he's risen up the ranks fantastically well, you know, with Tottenham through the academy and that, and he's risen up the ranks fantastically well, and for 3 seasons Kane's been good, for 3 seasons Tottenham have been good as well, and Harry Kane in the Premier League now has made over a century appearances, and he's scored 87 goals, so he's not far from hitting 100 goals in the Premier League, but in all competitions he's hit over a century of goals as well as Harry Kane. But he did say he has not disregarded the move to Real Madrid. There's no reason why he should leave Tottenham at this moment in time, you know, with how good they've been in the last 2 or 3 seasons. But Bev, what time is it? They've been good in the last 3 years or so, but these teams out there, such as Real Madrid, that can double Kane's wages and offering better wages. And Kane, you know, Real Madrid elevates at a high level, playing amongst better players and win silverware. And with Tottenham, they have been good for 3 seasons, but he's not going to be gaining any silverware. And this is the similar situation to what Danny Rose was basically, you know, explaining as well. But he's won the Golden Boot for the last couple of years. He's getting on the same level now as Messi and Ronaldo. He's Harry Kane, you know, won the Premier League Player of the Month in September, you know, and has won the PFA as well. He made his debut for Tottenham in 2011 in the Europa League against Hearts as well. Harry Kane, but definitely the best striker in the Premier League. The 2 best in the Premier League for me are Kane and Lukaku, even though, you know, Lukaku went 7 games without a goal, but was definitely hitting form, you know, early on in the season, Lukaku. But he's nearly scored 100 goals all in all now in the Premier League as Lukaku. This is obviously including his time with Everton as well. So potentially it will cost Real Madrid maybe up to £195-200 million, you know, to actually get the pursuit of Harry Kane. But obviously, you know, Real Madrid can afford this, and, you know, Tottenham will probably not say no to an offer of that amount of money. So that is a very loud. What are you doing? Baby, you'll ruin my carpet. What? 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 Exactly.
None of my big side, she fucking carpet's no big on the floor.
The what?
Listen, that's all. That's your carpet. That's your carpet mold.
Alright.
That's not big on the floor.
Alright. No bits. Sorry about that. So yes, I was saying Real Madrid could make a move for Kane next summer as well in the current process. So mainly, as I updated you on my last video, was about Jose Mourinho demanding and asking for 200 million in the window for 200 million window, and he's identified 4 left-footed players as well as Mourinho, and this is Griezmann, Danny Rose, Danny Rose, and Mesut Ozil. Because Man United still need improvements. You know, we need a winger, potentially need a left back. Because the board have said to Mourinho he has to sell before he can buy, as we all know, and still potentially need a midfielder as well. In the current process as well, guys. So mainly, Manchester United, you could still see, Luke Shaw go, as we all know, because he's being linked with a move to Newcastle United, because Newcastle, have reportedly, been interested in Luke Shaw. Newcastle are keen on getting Luke Shaw on a loan deal. I don't think, that they're willing to actually, get him on a permanent deal, but Newcastle are interested in Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw's had a frustrating time since coming to Manchester United. This is 4th season in the process with United. We paid £29 million from Southampton. He is still under contract with Manchester United until 2019 as well as Luke Shaw, but he's only played 32 times in the Premier League since he's come to Manchester United. He hasn't been the same, since he broke his leg as Luke Shaw, so he could leave Manchester United in January, whether he goes on loan, whether he goes permanently, or he could go permanently in the summer, could Luke Shaw as well. But there's been City interested in him, Chelsea, Arsenal have also been interested in Luke Shaw as well, and that's been reported in the last couple of days. So Rafa Benitez is keen on Luke Shaw, but we know he's probably 4th, 5th choice left back now at Manchester United. He's Luke Shaw in the current process, and he's just frustrated with lack of game time he's getting. Hasn't played in the Premier League at all this season, and has only played twice in the Carabao Cup as Luke Shaw. As well, he made his England team debut in 2014, and he may be keen on reuniting with Pochettino, because there's been talks about Danny Rose and Luke Shaw's potential swap deal, because Luke Shaw used to work with Pochettino, and obviously before Pochettino went to Tottenham as well. There has been talks that he could actually go back to Southampton, but I think Southampton need to offload Ryan Bertrand, basically. If they are to get Luke Shaw, they have to offload Ryan Bertrand, because we know Manchester City have been linked with Ryan Bertrand, as we all know. City have been linked with him. City could make a move for him, because defensively, City did spend a lot of money in August, on defenders, but obviously they've had, one of their summer signings, Benjamin Mendy, he's out for the majority of the season. Even now in the defensive line, John Stones is injured for Manchester City. So City are looking for a fullback as well, and Ryan Bertrand's been on their list as well. And Ryan Bertrand is a player, this is his 3rd season across Southampton. Spent the majority of his career with Chelsea, was there a good 10 years, but he's been loaned out at quite a few teams as Ryan Bertrand. Attacking instinct's good, defensive distribution's good. He's made over century appearances now, and began his career with Gillingham, and then he graduated from Chelsea's youth system, as we all know. He made his senior debut for Chelsea in 2011, he made his England senior debut in 2012, did Bertrand, and also he's got Champions League experience, because he made his Champions League debut in 2012 as well, did Ryan Bertrand as well, and that was Chelsea's final against Bayern Munich, where Ryan Bertrand had made his debut in the Champions League as well. But City have reportedly, been very heavily linked with him. So if he is to leave, Luke Shaw could make a return back to Southampton. But Newcastle, anyway, have stepped their interest up in Luke Shaw. As we did come out in the press the other day, Man United were willing to offer 40 million plus Luke Shaw for us to actually, go on and get Danny Rose. But there's been quite a lot of teams interested in getting Luke Shaw as well. And Jose Mourinho gave him a lot of criticism last season, especially, and a player that who's still quite young, wants 15 football week in, week out Manchester United now. He's not going to be getting this, as we all know. And, I think Danny Rose is the favourite to replace Luke Shaw at Old Trafford, as I do keep saying, because Danny Rose reportedly did tell his friends he does want to join United. He's been at Tottenham 10 years. He's still under contract with Tottenham until 2021 as well. And he did criticise Tottenham for lack of investment back in August. He wasn't satisfied with the wages he was receiving, and these big clubs out there that can offer him better wages, such as Manchester United as well. And he did say back in August he doesn't want to play 15 years without one trophy or one medal. Does Danny Rose in the current process, but I do like him. Began his career with Leeds. He's been at a lot of teams on loan. Don't forget, as Danny Rose as well. But potentially Tottenham may not offload him in January, but he could leave. He could leave Tottenham next summer as well. Could Danny Rose, because Danny Rose not satisfied with Pochettino, dropping him for the Arsenal game, dropping him for the West Brom game, and he'd been out about 9 or 10 months with injury. Danny Rose as well. But we know Chelsea have also been interested in him as well. So potentially, we Manchester United do need to reinvest that left hand side, as we are all aware of. Manchester United do need to reinvest that left hand side as well in the current process. So we will see what happens. But I think Danny Rose is potentially favoured to go on and replace Luke Shaw Old Trafford, and we could see quite a few players go because we still got players coming to the end of the deals. Mata, in that, he's been playing at number 10 on that right hand side this season. He's coming to the end of his deal. Fellaini could lose him on a free transfer next summer. Man United not prepared to cash in for him though in January. There's been talks about Darmian as well. He's another player. There's also been mention of Daley Blind as well. But Matteo Darmian, the reports were coming from Italy the other day that reportedly Roma had been interested in Darmian, Inter Milan and Napoli had also been interested because Darmian's got a lot of experience of being in Italy. Darmian, he hasn't played much this season, so Darmian he's quite frustrated. Darmian, with lack of game time he's been getting this season, he's also fell down the pecking order as well. We've had different players playing at left back position. Without doubt, Ash Young's been Mourinho's preferred choice, and he's the one that stepped up at that full back position as Ash Young. Without a doubt, he has been the best this season for Manchester United. But Darmian, as I said, he's made 77 appearances for Manchester United, not far from making 100 appearances now for Manchester United. Darmian, this is his third season of process at Old Trafford, but Darmian's agent has come out and he actually confirmed that as yet, at the moment, Darmian has received no offers to leave Manchester United, Matteo Darmian. But Darmian, he's not ranked into Milan. He made his debut at just the age of 17 years of old. Did 17 did Darmian. And then he went to somewhere else on loan, went to Parma, and he joined Torino, and he had 4 fantastic seasons with Torino. Then Man United just paid over £12 million for him from Torino, and he made his international debut in 2014. In 2015, won the FA Cup in his first season with United as well. Did Darmian, as we all know. But his versatility is very, very good because he can play out that right back, he can play out that left back as well. Can Matteo Darmian, but there has been teams interested in him. As well, so we could potentially still lose him as well. But also with the Manny and Fellaini could lose him on a free transfer next summer as well. And saying, regarding Mesut Ozil, as I do keep mentioning to you guys, I would love him at Manchester United. I really, really would love him at the club because he can create chances. He can provide assists. Obviously, I used to work with Jose Mourinho. Did Mesut Ozil as well. Arsenal paid £42 million for him. Man United have been heavily linked with him. Barcelona have been heavily linked to him. But we know Barcelona are using him as an alternative because obviously I still think Barcelona's main priority target is Coutinho. But Barcelona are weighing him up as an alternative. And they've got quite a few alternatives on their radar of Barcelona as well. But saying about Mesut Ozil, as I said earlier on, that Ian Wright, the Arsenal legend, has basically confirmed that the Man United deal is issuing, and he did say he could join Manchester United on a free transfer in the summer, and he said it would be an unbelievable signing for us if Mesut Ozil was to come to Old Trafford as well, because he's been heavily linked with him to Old Trafford, but Wenger has come out and basically suggested that Ozil and Sanchez will not leave Arsenal in the January transfer window, and he's convinced they will be at Arsenal in the summer. He's convinced he'll be at Arsenal till the end of the season as well. But he did come out in the press the other day that reportedly Ozil was demanding a sign-on fee from Barcelona if he was to join. Also, it confirmed Ozil's agents been in discussions with Barca. He said, allegedly Ozil had agreed to join Barcelona. Wenger basically said he hasn't agreed to join Barcelona, and Messi's made it clear he'd rather have Coutinho at Barcelona than Mesut Ozil, in the current process. But I think Ozil is still keen on staying in the Premier League because he's Premier League proven now because it's his 5th season of process. Obviously, he's had experience of being in Spain. Obviously, he was in the Bundesliga for 5 years, so he's had experience of being in the Bundesliga as well. But it did come out in the press the other day that Ozil had been given permission to leave Arsenal Football Club, and it did say it could be available for around £20 million in January or something like that as well. He's also reportedly been demanding a higher wage increase as well as those. He's been demanding wages, of a staggering over £300,000 or £100,000 as well as Mesut Ozil. But absolutely a fantastic player. Can't take away from him. He's made over a century appearances now for the Arsenal Football Club. As I said, I think he missed Arsenal's game against Burnley at the weekend. as well in the current process. But what, he's got a record of assists, especially since he's coming to Premier League, and I think he's keen on reuniting with Mourinho, because Ozil and Mourinho were fantastic. Don't forget, together at Real Madrid, and we know that the contract talks have stalled. So Arsenal nowhere near in the process of securing him a new deal. Let's get that right. But yeah, and Arsenal obviously going to have to identify replacements, as I said. But from Arsenal's perspective, they've got Ozil coming to the deal, Sanchez, Jack Wilshere. So for me, if they are to leave, Arsenal need to try and cash in for them all in January, because if they don't, they're taking a financial risk. Let's be honest with you. But why would you want to let them leave on a free transfer next summer if you could, cash in for them in January? They'll get quite a bit of decent money, for them free players, but it's still always hard, even if you've got the money, sometimes, to find then replacements. But for me, as I said, Barcelona's main priority target is Philippe Coutinho, as we all know. Coutinho's this fifth season process Liverpool. He's become one of those creative agile midfielders. Still in the contract with Liverpool till 2021. He's 2022, sorry, is Philippe Coutinho. He's been in Inter Milan. He's also had experience of being in Spain in the Paso Espanyol. Liverpool only paid £8.5 million for him. But he's become one of the most creative agile midfielders, and he hasn't been his best this season, Coutinho, due to injuries and that and stuff like that. PSG have also been interested in Coutinho as well. PSG have got quite a few players on their radar, but obviously I think they need to offload, before they can purchase again, because obviously, due to financial fair play regulation, considering the amount of money they invested back in the August window as well. Paris Saint-Germain and Mbappe and Neymar. Neymar, I'd probably want to see him at Paris Saint-Germain because they are teammates for Brazil as well. But he has been Barcelona's main priority target. Barcelona and Liverpool had been in talks back in the August window, but Liverpool owners, the Liverpool board were not willing to offload Coutinho. He can play attacking mid, he can play on the left-hand side. That's where he mainly plays now, Philippe Coutinho, in the current process. And Luis Suarez, I think, suggested that he wants to see Coutinho at Barcelona. But I think Liverpool value the player around £130 million. And he did say Barcelona were preparing to put a fresh bid in the January transfer window of around £106 million as well. And I think Coutinho, like Ozil, you'd probably want to elevate to that higher level, play amongst better players, be in Champions League football. And the same with Coutinho. Liverpool are in Champions League football. But with Liverpool, Coutinho is not going to be winning trophies or all, but with Barcelona, he is. So he could still go. But if Barcelona were to get Ozil, then I say, then definitely, Coutinho will, probably, then stay at Liverpool Football Club. As I said, but the main part of this video is about David Luiz, reportedly Real Madrid. David Luiz is in talks with Real Madrid, reportedly. David Luiz, as I said, is in talks with Real Madrid, and Real Madrid have got quite a few players on their agenda. Harry Kane, Martial reportedly, now reportedly David Luiz as well. So anyway, guys, that's everything today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always. Drop a like on the video and take it easy, guys. Take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care.